In a galaxy far beyond the Milky Way, humanity had finally made its mark in the stars. With faster-than-light travel discovered, Earth's influence had spread across countless planets. They weren't just explorers anymore, they were conquerors. And at the forefront of this new human empire was a single man, Captain Jared Lancaster. Jared wasn't like the typical soldiers or diplomats representing Earth. He was an anomaly, a bold, charismatic leader who could charm his way through any situation, no matter how hostile. But that wasn't all. Jared had something most men could only dream of, an entire harem of beautiful, powerful alien women, all of them loyal to him in ways that were almost unimaginable. The harem wasn't a symbol of power or dominance, however. It was a bond forged in trust and mutual respect, something more powerful than any weapon. Each of the women was from a different species. Some were towering blue-skinned beings from the planet Soroka, others were elegant, telepathic beings from Zillion 9, and there were even a few from the fire-scorched worlds of Zorath. But all of them shared one thing in common. They adored Jared. The story of how it all began started during one of Earth's first galactic expeditions. Jared had been assigned as the captain of the diplomatic mission to the planet Alaris, a world rich in resources but ruled by a highly advanced and militaristic alien species called the Varkan. The Varkan were notorious for their hatred of humans, and the mission was seen as a suicide mission by most. But Jared, ever confident in his abilities, took the lead with a plan to negotiate peace. He knew that strength came not just from weapons, but from understanding the hearts of others. As expected, the Varkan were hostile and uncooperative at first. Jared didn't fight them with force. Instead, he used diplomacy and, most importantly, his charm. The turning point came when the Varkan Empress, Cladera, a towering and powerful woman with golden scales, met Jared face to face. She had heard of human arrogance and assumed that Jared would be just like the rest. But Jared wasn't like anyone she'd encountered. His courage and confidence won her over, and against all odds, the negotiations ended in a peaceful treaty. Clara, moved by his bravery and intellect, offered him a rare gift, an ancient, sacred flower from her homeworld. Little did she know, this gesture would change the course of history. Jared, who had already captured her heart with his wit, took the flower and offered her a return gift, a promise of mutual respect between their species. But that wasn't the end. Over the following months, more alien species learned of Jared's diplomatic victory and his strength of character. First came Zira, a fierce warrior princess from the Sorokan race. Her species was known for their pride and brutal customs, but something about Jared's calm and controlled demeanor intrigued her. They crossed paths during an intergalactic summit, and soon she too found herself joining Jared's growing circle. As Jared's influence spread, so did the number of women who sought his companionship. Each alien woman was unique in her own right, with incredible powers and skills. Some could control the elements, others could manipulate time itself. But none of them had ever met a human like Jared, someone who made them feel seen and valued for who they truly were. Among them was Lila, the telepathic Zillion. At first, she found humans to be rather crude, lacking in the sophistication of her kind. But Jared's unshakable resolve and unpretentious nature soon won her over. She found his honesty refreshing and discovered that she enjoyed his company in ways she never thought possible. As time passed, more joined the fold. Amira, the fiery Zorathian with the power to control magma, and even Riva, a soft-spoken, mysterious alien from a water-covered planet who could read minds with her eyes. They all shared one thing in common. They were drawn to Jared, and each began to love him in her own special way. The love was mutual. Jared wasn't just a charismatic leader, he was a kind-hearted and caring man. He treated every member of his harem with respect, listening to their fears, hopes, and dreams. He made sure to support them in their goals, whether it was leading a planet, exploring a new star system, or simply sharing a quiet moment together. The bond between Jared and his harem was unbreakable, and they grew closer with each passing day. The real twist came when Jared discovered that every woman in his harem had become pregnant with his child. It wasn't a surprise to Jared, as he'd always been careful, But the sheer number of pregnancies in such a short time was something no one had expected. The news spread like wildfire throughout the galaxy, and soon Jared Lancaster was seen as the father of a new generation, one that would unite humans and aliens in ways no one had ever imagined. The pregnancies were a sign of peace and prosperity. Alien species, once divided by centuries of conflict, now saw the union between Jared and his harem as a symbol of hope. These children, born from different species, would be the first of their kind, marking a new era where humans and aliens lived side by side in harmony. But the story didn't stop there. Jared's harem, with their combined strength, helped defend Earth and its allies against various galactic threats. They stood together as a united front, not only as lovers, but as warriors, leaders, and diplomats. Jared's children would grow up to be the bridge between species, ensuring that the legacy of unity would continue for generations. Humanity, once seen as insignificant in the vastness of the universe, had proven itself to be a powerful force for peace, diplomacy, and unity. And at the heart of it all stood one man, Captain Jared Lancaster, his name etched in the history of the stars forever, surrounded by his alien harem and their shared dream of a better future for all.